All right, we're back for the shit show. Um, we left off with this gentleman here. His name is not Joanne Kirkbride. This guy had saved a suicide, and they invited him to the board to congratulate him on saving a human life. And I'm sure that was traumatic for him. And he's still in his presentation. We had just completed watching the goddamn development agency known as TRIMET talking about their new apartment building, which just appalled me because it's so crazy. I mean, what the hell are they doing building apartments? But here we are. Now let's see if we can get done with this. It's going to take me 10 episodes to get through this.
Thank you for being such a very compassionate and caring person. I hopefully, the care that TriMet offers to its staff for time off will continue in the future because you will feel, the ongoing stress that catching someone who was close to a life-threatening situation can have. And you relive the story you were sharing with us, which you're probably now, can be hard. But thank you for being a person that loves humans and have the care to stand up and step out. Thank you on behalf of the board.
TRIMET did reach out to me as well as our, what was that program that they reached out and talked to me like therapists would.
Is that thing we were just...
EAP. They reached out to me the day after, making sure that I was okay and that if I needed to talk, if I needed some resources, they would be willing to help with that. I thought that was amazing. And I told him I took the 2 days off and I took my family to the fair and I took my family fishing. I focused that on my family. Those times, the ones that I love.
Good idea.
And I held my daughter most of that day. Just wanted to reassure her that, there's that love out there. And I really appreciate TriMet being able to reach out to me and help me and give me those type of resources.
He's a TriMet man.
Well, thank you. So
this really doesn't have anything to do with TriMet. You know that, of course. It has to do with him. And as I said yesterday, I'd sure like to know the backstory of this. We'll never know it.
Very much. It's not only it's a combination of, first of all, your observation skills, because how many people would just drive by and they didn't, and in anticipation, and then resourcefulness, and then the desire to make a difference. And I'm very grateful that TriMet has you as a member of the team and the community. So thank you so very much.
Yeah, I called my trainer, Mike Wise, and I said, hey, your training saved another person's life.
Oh, jeez.
Because he beat into me, scanning and making sure that everything, you see everything.
Scanning? Oh, man. Scanning? Oh, my God. Oh, come on. Please don't ruin this. Please don't ruin this. You did a good deed. Maybe if the woman wanted to be saved, which we'll never know. Don't turn this into a TriMet ad, please. Please don't do this. Okay. It's not what you should be doing. Oh, by the way, I see TriMet didn't issue any big news release, any big propaganda effort on the end of their bus cleaning project. Remember when they started it? They put all in the news. They called out the mainstream media. They had their press release. Well, now they've ended that, and nothing in the media. Nothing. It just quietly whispers away.
One of the skills that the awesome training that we get at TriMet as bus drivers is being able to see more than what the normal driver sees. And I give all that credit to Mike Wise, my trainer.
Oh, please,
who,
give me a
like
break.
I said, he beat that into me in the first
give me a
month or the first 6 weeks.
I'm sure the TriMet training had nothing to do with you saving that bird. I'm sure you, whatever your name is, I forgot, would have done that if you had never even heard of TriMet, because that's who you are. Okay, it's not TriMet that created you. You're you. And you were created out of wherever your background is. This is getting sappy now.
Here, TriMet.
All right.
Well, thank you so very much.
Okay, thank you. Great job.
General Manager Dessou.
Yes, President.
Yes.
Simmons, just again, Operator Hilaire, to have the wherewithal again and the compassion and the care that we've all stated to you, to rush to that person and ultimately save their life is really remarkable. So thank you on our part. So have a good day, sir. And anything that you need, please let Joanne Kirkbride, your management, know, and they're there to assist.
Thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you.
So does that conclude your general manager's report?
So President Simmons, that concludes my report for this morning. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. See how Sam has integrated some operator stories into his general manager report, which I think is pretty nice. I mean, it's a good idea. Bring your operators into this little production, even though we know it's not really of any value, but it's nice to throw them at the board anyway, so the board can meet some operator. I think the board should be riding around. I think they should be riding around on transit exclusively. 1 month of transit only, and then come back and report to yourselves about it.
Let me ask Director Kim, would you be okay if we took a 10-minute break and then came back?
Of course.
To your report? You had no idea that you would have so much time to prepare.
Appreciate the President Simmons. I'll present in 10 minutes.
Okay, let's get back together at 11:25.
All right. All right. All right. Oh, good. At least we can fast forward some of this. Keep going. Keep going. There's Sam. Must be getting close. There's Shelly. Two big shots, Shelly and Sam.
2022 fiscal year is $180 million, which is lower than other years due to pandemic impacts and the timing of payments. But Metro remains confident in the impact of the measure in terms of population served. So that's good. If there are further questions on the program, they are welcoming for any questions and answers. The second portion that was covered in the last IMPACT meeting was the legislative update, where Metro staff shared some highlights from the most recent session that related to the region. Significantly was HB 3055, which is an omnibus bill for transportation that carried on pieces of legislation from HB 2017. And the next IMPACT meeting will occur this evening, tonight at 5, and cover two main topics: housing bond update and housing needs analysis discussion. So I look forward to bringing detailed updates from tonight's meeting. And again, President Simmons and board members and members of the public, my apologies. This technical difficulty will not happen again where it interrupts the board. So again, that was my report. I welcome any questions or comments.
What? I'm not going back. I don't care.
Board members, any questions? Director Bauman? Nope, nothing for me, thank you. Oh, I saw your mic was on, so. Well, I just want you to know, Director Kim, there's been a number of technological challenges today, and yours wasn't the only one. So don't feel at all like yours, that you have to apologize for that. We'll get this all worked out, in the future.
Yeah, they haven't had,
thank you so much.
They haven't had enough time to figure it out. They've had like 2 years, but they haven't figured it out.
Much for your report.
Thank you.
I didn't even get to
all right. So now moving on, we're going to go to items within our agenda. And the first is the consent agenda. And as you all know, items that appear on the consent agenda are considered routine and may be approved by the board as a blanket motion. And what we have for us today is just one thing, which is the minutes from our last meeting, which also was July 28th, since we didn't have an August meeting. And so is there a motion to approve? So moved, Mrs. Lori.
This is Keith, second.
Okay, great. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or revisions to the minutes that we need to make? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries. So now we're going to move into our resolution, the business resolutions for the meeting today. And we have 3. So the first one is Resolution 21-09-43, and it's authorizing a contract with E-C Electric for battery electric bus charging stations at the Powell Operations Facility. Mr. General Manager, your comments?
Thanks, President Simmons, members of the board. This is the first resolution before you. It concerns TRIMET's development of charging stations for our battery electric bus fleet. You just received an update here. Specifically, this resolution would establish a contract to procure and install bus electric infrastructure at our Powell operation.
And I'm going to bring it up again and again and again and again and again. They're doing all this, but their transit system's not running. Okay, you can't find. Half the calls I listen to are dispatchers begging for people to work extra. But they're doing all this other stuff, and I guess I'm the only one that actually thinks it's the most absurd thing I've ever seen. But in this country, all kinds of absurdities pass for normal.
Facility. Providing the space and infrastructure necessary to run various types of electric bus technology was part of the incentive for the extensive renovation of the Powell facility. The resolution before you would support the initial installation of 12 chargers with the option to install 12 more for a total of 24. These will be the type of charger where the bus plugs in overnight for the following service day. TRIMET used a request for proposal to identify a contractor for the project. Of the 6 vendors that submitted proposals, 3 advanced to a short list, and E&C Electric emerged as the leading firm. E&C Electric is a Northwest-based 75-year-old company. Its workforce is about 12% minority and 17% female. E&C Electric intends to perform the majority of the work, but has identified a certified DBE subcontractor to perform some tasks. The $2.1 million total cost of the contract includes the charging dispensers, converters, warranties, cloud subscription, spare parts, testing, and commissioning of the system, as well as maintenance plans. It includes an initial term of 5 years with options to extend the contract for 2 additional 5-year terms. And the initial cost of the contract is included in the FY22 maintenance operation.
Yeah, before we move on here. So here we have Biden. He wants to monitor all transactions over $600 that come in and out of your bank. I mean, it's over, people. It's over. Don't you see what's happening here? It is over. These motherfuckers now want to know every dollar you take out of your bank. It's just sickening what's happening here. And all these morons are just fucking brain dead. They can't put any of this together. Man, I'm so glad. Hurry up. Give me COVID. Let me drop dead already. I don't want to even live in this fucking society anymore.
Operating budget. Your approval of the resolution is
recommended. How much is this? Who knows? Who
I have here with me today
millions of wasted money.
Interim COO and Executive Director of Maintenance, Roland Hoskins. And also I have the Manager of Bus Electrification here, Young Park, if you have any follow-up questions.
Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
Just prove it and get it moving along.
This is Lori, so moved.
Just do it. Give them their money.
This is Thomas, I second.
Just suck puppet.
It's been moved and seconded. How about discussion? Do you have any questions or comments that you would like to make? And I want you to know I struggle with finding the hands up. So I'm working on this, and I can see that Director Edwards has his mic on. So I will call on you first.
No, I don't. No, that was just to make the motion second. I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay. So, Director Gonzalez, do you have a question?
I do. Thank you. Just looking at the ranking of the proposers, I was curious to know, do we have a history with this particular vendor that's been recommended, EC Electric?
Why do you care? You're gonna give it to him anyway.
I'll go to Roland or either Young if you can answer that question, or procurement actually. I know Lester, you're on with us as well.
I'm going to let Young go ahead and take the honor here and
pass that down the bureaucratic chain, everybody.
So I think it's appropriate for him to respond.
Okay.
Come on. Where's the goddamn?
I'm sorry. I'm here in the field. So could you please repeat the question, please?
Yes, Young. This is Director Gonzalez. I was curious to know, do we have a history with EC Electric? Are they doing a lot of other contracts with TRIMET currently?
Yes, sir. It's my understanding that we have a long-established relationship with them. They've done quite a bit of work getting our CCTV and security upgrades throughout the network. They've also provided high voltage support and experience working with them over the years on the
It's $2,164,000
rail side.
And they have 1,463 employees. 12.24% are minorities. 17.2% are female. While EC Electric won't use its own workforce, the majority of this has been identified, or it has identified James Pearson, an emerging small business women, as a subcontractor. Whatever.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Director Bauman?
Yes, thank you. When we several years ago, when we first received those 5 New Flyer buses, I asked this question, and I'll re-up it today. And that is it still the case that the charging systems are standardized? In other words, that when we install these charging stations, they can be used by any manufacturer, any bus. They going on into the future. They're not specific to one particular manufacturer or type of electric bus. Is that still true?
young park here, and that is in fact true. In fact, you could even bring some of your electric vehicle cars and be able to charge. So these are all under what is called a CCS1. So it's a standard DC charging plug. What we do with heavy.
Here, listen to this. The Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority has work to do to make the system safer, says General Manager Steve Poftek, that hack, during an interview on WB. These general managers are actually like talking to radio and TV, unlike, TriMet, who doesn't come out of their little ivory tower. We've worked to build a stronger culture of safety, he said. This is after, somebody died on a staircase, and then the escalator went in reverse and almost killed people. Despite doubling the size of the safety department at an unprecedented rate of investment, a string of safety incidents have shown the transit agency is still vulnerable. And you mean hiring all those bureaucrats didn't do anything? Who would have known that? Who would have figured that out? Shit, not me.
OEM is that we do interoperability testing to make sure that these chargers are fully compliant and able to connect and go through what we call the handshake, ability to communicate with the bus to the charger, begin that charge session. We push buttons to end it, to start it again. We have vetted this product and this vendor extensively and feel very comfortable that as we grow our bus.
Massachusetts reports 3,741 new breakthrough cases. Of course, they add, but which is how much percentage of everybody that got the actual figure is 3,741 people have another breakthrough case, proving again that these vaccines are fucking bullshit. Oh, but you won't die. Hey, guess what? You generally won't die anyway. Okay, most people don't die.
Zero emission bus fleet, any provider that OEM, we could definitely be able to bring that bus in and connect and charge with the charger provided here from ChargePoint.
Okay, thank you.
This is Roland, Director Bauman. The other piece of this is that I believe APTA is just getting ready to release some standardized charging specifications, which is great. I'm not sure where they're at in that process. I know they've been working hard on that, and hopefully that'll help the industry. And then the other part of this is I want you all to just remember that every piece and every step along the way, we have had to work with manufacturers, engineers, with bringing all the parties together involved in this, because
they could have just gone with the technology that they have right now, since we're in a goddamn pandemic and money is scarce. You can't find people to drive. You could have just put this off, but no, you didn't. You kept moving forward just like you do over there. It's like, you guys, nothing's happening to you. You're all in your elite little boxes up there while the rest of the world is dealing with all this shit.
Someone's going to provide the charger, someone's going to provide software, then you have a bus
manufacturer.
To this shit. Now we have a couple of bus manufacturers, soon to be 3.
Why do they want to deal with this now?
So we're continually troubleshooting with them and working with them to work on ways to have compatibility within their software, because a lot of it is proprietary, and so we're trying to get them to play nice and to work through it. So I would say if we have some hiccups along the way, it wouldn't surprise me. And at the same time, I know that we're going to be capable to solve all those problems as we move along as well. So just kind of setting the stage from this is continuing going to be a process, and we're going to learn how to do it well, and we'll do it well.
I don't know why.
I don't see any more hands up. So if there's no more discussion, I'm ready to call for the vote. So
I wonder how they're going to vote.
Please say aye.
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 Any abstentions or opposing?
Well, who would have ever believed it?
Then the motion carries.
No shit.
All right, going to our second resolution. The second resolution this morning is Resolution 21-09-44, and it's authorizing a piggyback contract with CBE Technologies Group.
The leader in technology, everybody.
Network, hardware, software, and engineering.
They're just great, aren't they? They're just great. The technology they have is just great. And we can hear it all on the scanner, how great it is. Guess how much this one's for? It's $18,310,000.
Hearing services. Mr. General Manager, your comments, please.
Thanks, President Simmons, members of the board. The purpose of this...
Yeah, they got 18 million sitting over here. We got 18 million for this, but shit, we're not going to raise your bus driver wages. Nope.
Resolution allows TRIMET to continue ongoing IT work. Right off the top, the word piggyback may draw your attention. It's a term that's recognized under Oregon law. It allows a public entity such as TRIMET to enter into a contract with a vendor that is already providing services to the state of Oregon, and it provides it the same service in terms. This type of agreement allows TRIMET to leverage an existing price agreement to obtain discounted pricing. TRIMET has contracted with CBE for...
They're getting a discount at 18 million. They're getting a discount.
for IT services under a similar piggyback agreement since 2017. And during that time, CBE's work includes the successful completion of a multi-year IT network redesign. In addition, CBE's expenditures came in $1.7 million below the maximum amount for the term of the contract. CBE's workforce is 21% minority and 5% female. For the proposed contract, the maximum amount is $18.3 million over a 6-year period of time. The cost is accounted for in the IT division's operating budget for FY22 through FY28. Your approval is recommended of this resolution. I do have with me here Director of Intelligent Transportation Systems, A.J. O'Connor.
Director Intelligence Transfer, another director, A.J. O'Connor.
Any questions? And also, I have members of the executive team that's with me also that has been working with this project.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
Motion's approved. Come on.
So I didn't get who made the first motion. Was it
Ozzy did?
Ozzy, and then Director Lewis, you seconded, right? Okay, super. Okay, so is there some discussion? Director Gonzalez? Your mic is
going.
Sorry,
yeah, my mic was just
show up.
Okay.
He doesn't show up in the thing.
So it does not appear as though there's any need for discussion, and no one wants to make any comments. So I can call for the vote.
Take the 18 million, hand it over.
All in
18
favor?
million, folks.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. No.
Opposed?
Nobody.
Abstentions? Motion carries.
Boy, that's
All right,
shocking.
our third resolution is 21-09-45, and it's landscape and it has to do with landscape and bioswale maintenance. And it's authorizing a contract with Vaughn Environmental, Inc. Mr. General Manager.
Thanks, President Simmons, members of the board. This is the final resolution before you. It allows TRIMET to contract with Vaughn Environmental, Inc. for landscape and bioswale maintenance and on-call services. TRIMET has more than 200 locations that are maintained regularly and serviced as needed, and also from an on-call basis standpoint. So prior to issuing an invitation to bid on this contract, TRIMET began conducting outreach. Part of that process included contacting dozens of certified firms listed on the State of Oregon's website, informing them about the opportunity and encouraging them to participate. During the outreach process, it was determined that TRIMET could maximize participation by certified firms and also by separating contract awards and aligning them for 4 landscaping maintenance zones, which has been previously identified.
Yeah, they're handing out $871,000 to Bridgetown, $829,000 to Vaughan, $524,000 to Pacific Green, and then another $672,000 to Vaughan. So I mean, the money's just like everywhere for everything, except for what's actually needed.
To you by the agency. TRIMET awarded contracts to 2 other firms for zones 1 and 3. Those contracts did not require board consideration because we are awarded the contracts for zones 2 and 4, both to Vaughan, and then the total value amount comes to $1.5 million over 5 years. We're before you. Vaughan is a certified emerging small business. It's also a women business enterprise. Its workforce is nearly 61% minority and 4% female. The contract amount is accounted for in the facilities maintenance operating budgets for FY22 through FY27. Your approval of the resolution is recommended. Again, I have with me today for questions Interim COO and Executive Director of Maintenance Roland Hoskins, and also Director of Facilities Management Karen Powell. Thank you.
Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
Who cares about it? Hurry up, hurry up.
This is Lori, so moved.
Second.
It's taking you so long.
That time, Laura.
Hurry up, hurry up.
Actually, didn't hear you, Director Edwards, but I did hear Director Bauman.
That's fine.
So Director Bauman moves and Director Gonzalez seconds. Is there any discussion?
No, fuck.
All right. Well, I'm glad that giving more time to review the materials, there's less need for discussion. So seeing no need for discussion, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye, aye, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Straight PM. Straight.
Thank you. Okie dokie. There's no other business to come before the board, and so I'm going to adjourn the business meeting. Now we're going to move into our briefing agenda. We have one item this morning on top of the other briefings that we've already had to update us on the efforts for the reimagining of public safety efforts underway by TRIMET.
Yeah, this would be fun.
Mr. General Manager.
Again, thank you, President.
I don't have energy for that today. I'm going to cut it here. I'll do that another time. Over and out.